and welcome to the 26th Annual Richmond Community Schools Celebration of Excellence. This program is being recorded and will be broadcast thanks to Jim Russell, RHS, radio and TV teacher. Today, we honor a few of the many individuals who represent dedication, excellence, and commitment to education. We also celebrate each of you for making RCS a great place to learn and grow for our students. This year has certainly seen many challenges. You sit here today because you are resilient in your pursuit to impact the lives of kids. Each of you were not just born to just teach, just lead, or just serve. You were born to inspire others, to change people, and to never give up, even when faced with challenges that seem impossible. Remember, through the greatest of challenges comes the greatest rewards. The people we are recognizing today represent the many deserving RCS employees throughout the district. The commonalities they share are their positive mindsets that are focused on student-driven success. Seated on stage, along with the Teacher of the Year nominees, are Dr. Curtis Wright, Superintendent. Representing the RCS Board of Trustees, Nicole Stoltz, President. Kristen Breton, Secretary. Stacy Mops, and Pete Zaleski. Also joining us on stage, Kelly McDermott, Richmond Education Association President, and Derek Warch, the 2022 Secondary Teacher of the Year. At this time, I ask Nicole Stoltz to join me to say a few words.
Good afternoon. All right, so I've got a question for you. What do the following three people have in common? We have Bill Gates, Maya Angelou, and Emily Blunt. All right? Is that kind of percolating in your thoughts? So each of them, I'm going to give you the answer now. This is somewhat interactive, but not entirely interactive. So each of them largely credits their success to a teacher in their life. So let me share their stories with you. First of all, Emily Blunt. Most people know Emily Blunt. She was a Golden Globe, or is a Golden Globe nominated film and stage actress. But what you may not know is that from the ages of from 7 to 14, she developed a crippling stutter, all right? It had her struggling to compose even the simplest sentences. And so what her parents did, she was a smart kid. Her parents took her to coaches. They had speech coaches. They had relaxation coaches. And none of this was effective. Nothing whatsoever. So one of her teachers at school had an idea. She said, Emily, here's what I want you to do. I want you to try out for the school play. Can you imagine? With a stuttering problem at her age, trying out for the school play. And she suggested that she try out using an accent. Use an accent. Just go all out. Do this, all right? Well, at first, she absolutely resists this idea. No, not going to happen. And the teacher said, nope, I'm not going to give up on you. We're going to do this. We're going to do this together. So she coaxes her into taking acting lessons to experiment with different accents, all right? And so what Blunt ends up explaining is that when she distanced herself through a character during acting, the stutter was completely gone. So all of those efforts towards acting obviously pay off in immense dividends. In addition to her successful career as an actress, as we know, she became a member of the board of directors for the American Institute for Stuttering. All right, moving on to Maya Angelou. What about her? Well, before she became the powerful poet and civil rights activist that we currently know her as, she suffered a life of torment and darkness that nearly stole her voice for a while there. At a young age, she endured not only physical, but also emotional abuse at the hands of a family member. As a result, she became mute for nearly 5 years. That all changed, though. That all changed one day when a teacher spoke into that darkness, introduced her to the world of reading, Dickens, Shakespeare, Edgar Allan Poe, as well as African-American female artists like Frances Harper, Anne Spencer. All of this changed her life. Mrs. Flowers was that teacher's name. Mrs. Flowers greatly influenced her personal and professional philosophies by introducing her to this world. All right, finally, Bill Gates. Bill Gates attended Seattle's View Ridge Elementary School. All right, he was a typical nerdy fourth grader. I think you guys can imagine that, knowing Bill Gates. All right, so he did his best to keep to himself in those days. He really didn't want to do anything but be just introverted, nerdy kid, all right? But thanks to Mrs. Caffier, she was able to bring him out, to change his world. And this is what he has to say in his blog. He said, "When I first met Mrs. Caffier, she was the elegant and engaging school librarian, and I was a timid fourth grader, desperately trying to go unnoticed. I had some big deficits, such as atrocious handwriting, right, because that's awful, and a notoriously messy desk. I was trying to hide the fact that I liked to read, and that was very uncool for boys. Girls could get away with it, but for boys, not so much. She took me under her wing, helped make it okay for me to be a messy, nerdy boy who was reading a lot of books. She pulled me out of my shell by sharing her love of books and challenging me to read different things and asking questions." So people have long been celebrating the Bill Gates, the Maya Angelou's, and the Emily Blunts of the world. But what we're doing today, we are celebrating the people behind them. We are celebrating the teachers. These educators are the ones who bring a student from stutter to stagecraft. These are the ones who see a student who's lost her voice, and they produce in her a passion for poetry. And these are the ones who see a nerdy fourth grader and encourage a lifelong love of learning. Teachers change lives. And today, we're here to celebrate some of our own here at RCS. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Next, please join me in welcoming Kelly McDermott, President of the Richmond Education Association.
Good afternoon. Welcome especially to the family members and the friends of the honorees today, and especially to the community organizations who support the important work of our schools. We are happy and honored to have you here today to celebrate these folks. Pablo Picasso once said that the meaning of life is to find your gift. The presence of the teachers on this stage is evidence that they have indeed found their gift. Join that gift with hard work, intention, persistence, sacrifice, and love, and you just may land up here on stage, a place where I'm betting that most of these folks behind me, don't really want to be. You see, teachers are generally uncomfortable with moments like this. Don't get me wrong, teachers should be celebrated. They should receive their much-deserved accolades. But teachers don't seek out recognition and acknowledgement on stages. They find it elsewhere. They find it in the newfound confidence of a struggling reader, in the prideful smile of a student who raised their score on a test, in watching a student who at one time hated school receive honors and awards and walk across at graduation, in an email from a grateful parent, or in a note of thanks left in a conspicuous place by a student, or one of my personal favorites, unexpectedly crossing paths with a former student at Lowe's or Walmart or Kroger and finding out that their life beyond school maybe is not easy, that life isn't easy, but that they are doing well and that they are loved and that they have a good quality life. So let me come back to Pablo Picasso's quote, because Mr. Picasso wasn't finished. Understanding that the meaning of life is to find your gift is great, but there is so much more. The full quote is, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Every day in their classrooms, the teachers behind me combine their gift, a precious and incredibly valuable gift, with hard work, intention, and persistence to fulfill their purpose in life, to teach, On behalf of your colleagues, thank you. We are so proud of you and grateful that you are among us. Congratulations.
As we go through this program, you will see how true Kelly's words are as the teachers have reflected over their career. Thank you, Kelly. Next, please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Curtis Wright.
Good afternoon, faculty, staff, stakeholders, to our annual celebration of excellence. I hope you all have buckled in and are sitting tight. This is going to be a long one, but it's indeed meaningful. I'm teasing. Unlike my predecessors who have come to the microphone, and I've been known to be long-winded, I have a few notations, because as my mother would say, when you say something with meaning, you say it from the heart. And so I have a few notations to guide our brief conversation, I promise. Being a history teacher, I want to just take a historical trip back to the beginning of the year, when on this stage, Dr. Buddy Berry had encouraged us all to be penguins and not like that of polar bears, if you all recall. He also encouraged us to celebrate our surprises and delights that throughout the course of this year we all have had. He also, Dr. Berry, encouraged us to inspire the students that we have the privilege to serve, but also one another. And so when you look historically at the adversity, those who know me know that I try to embody and model humility, selfless service, and resiliency on a daily basis. And when you look at what we have had to endure in the adversity at the beginning of the year that we all had before us, but then we had 90,000 gallons of water in this facility, as well as challenges throughout the corporation with Mother Nature. Just here lately, we had an industrial fire that set us back. We also have had some lions and tigers and bears along the way, per se. And yet again, we still have overcome. And so for that, again, you are to be commended. From a visionary standpoint, on this stage at the beginning of the year, I shared the importance of teacher impact, systemic alignment, as well as exercising customer care, customer service, and customer satisfaction on a daily basis. You all continue to embody and put that forth. In conclusion, I know you're surprised. And I mean it when I say it. Not only your colleagues here on stage that have embodied the tenets and the values that we all aspire to on a daily basis, but for you all, you entrusted in me, because I've met with the majority of you all in this hall. And in the candidness, in the sincere trust, in the sincere honesty that you provided me with, I want to let you all know that I heard you. I not only heard you, but we've also been taking steps and measures to bring about change, bring about the change that you all as practitioners in the arena, as I mentioned to you earlier this year, you all are the most important people in our classrooms. And the commitment that you bring to this profession, to Richmond Community Schools on a daily basis is appreciated, it's valued, and it goes without question that you are some of the very best, not only within our county, within our state, but across the country. I'd put you all up against anyone when it comes to the care, the compassion, and the love that you all exercise toward our students on a daily basis. And so again, I heard you loud and clear when you shared with me that the knuckleheads and knuckleheadettes in your buildings, when it comes to student behavior, need to be addressed thoroughly and swiftly. And so for 23-24, that's something that we are going to put in motion like never before. We're going to love them. We're going to serve them. But we are going to exercise accountability when it comes to student behavior, because a small percentage, as we know, is trying to destroy it for the majority of our students and for you all as educators. We heard you when you referenced absenteeism. I heard you loud and clear. And we already have taken steps, as I promised you all we would do, to meet with our judicial entities here throughout the city and throughout the county and throughout the state to bring about change to make sure our students are getting to us on a daily basis. We heard you. I heard you loud and clear. And some of you all, you said it with your chest, as the kids would say, when you helped me understand, as we all have understood for some time, that teacher salaries need to be addressed, especially our middle tier salaries and our paraprofessional salaries, as well as just sincere value and appreciation for what it is that you all do. And so we are working diligently to make sure that we are meeting those marks. And then finally, sustainability. That's one of the things that you all shared with me in confidence and in trust, is that we need to make sure that our leadership is sustained, but also that you all as educators are in a position to return to serve here in Richmond. Because as we know, and as some of you all shared with me, you could choose to serve elsewhere. But because you serve here in Richmond and you serve our kids, I love you for it. I thank you for it. And again, we have work ahead of us, but we're committed to it. And more importantly, we're committed to continuing to maintain a trusting partnership with our associations, as well as with all educators, and most importantly, our stakeholders who are visiting with us, and for the work that you all put in for our students and for our community. So thank you. And Mrs. Bozer, I think that's record time.
Thank you, Dr. Wright. Since arriving what feels like 10 short months ago, I've been greeted by many of you with open arms and grace, and I would place this next presenter at the highest of that list. At this time, please join me in welcoming your 2022 Secondary Teacher of the Year, Mr. Derek Warch.
Good afternoon. As I was searching for words today, I thought back to last fall. In addition to teaching here at RHS, I also tutor at one of the Boys and Girls Club. At some point last fall, in late September or early October, I met a young student. He had recently moved to our community and had just started at one of our elementary schools. Prior to our first tutoring session, I was only informed that the student had limited English language skills and was in great need of support in math. At the start of each tutoring session, I simply ask, what was the best thing about school today? His response completely surprised me and humbled me. He said something like, milk, e-coloring, e-friends, e-teacher, e-drawing, e-numbers, e-books, e-work. He continued to list item after item, experience after experience. He found joy in all elements of his day at school. As educators and employees of RCS, we strive each day to create meaningful lessons for our students, from our youngest to our oldest. We strive to educate. We strive to create memories. We strive to inspire. I'm proud to have been honored last year, and this year I'm beyond proud to stand with my colleagues and to recognize their accomplishments and dedication to our students, to reaching all of our students. So please join me again in congratulating this year's honorees. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. At this time, if I could ask Kelly McDermott, Nicole Stoltz, and Dr. Wright to move to the floor in front of the stage so that we can begin our awards presentation for the Rising Star. Yeah, you can move. The Rising Star Award is to recognize teachers with no more than 3 years experience who have demonstrated exemplary performance and outstanding leadership. Building leaders were asked to nominate up to 2 Rising Stars. As I read your name, please come to the front of the stage to receive your award and remain there until the Rising Stars have been recognized. The Rising Stars for the 22-23 school year are, representing Charles Elementary, Crystal Matthews. Heather Clark, formerly known as Schaefer. Representing Community Youth Services, Kaylin Boyd. Representing Crestdale Elementary, Taylor Arthur. Here she comes. Also representing Crestdale, Veronica Rector. Representing Dennis Middle School, Ronnie Hibbler. That is how he approaches every day. From Fairview Elementary, Kira Edwards. From Hibbard, Daryl Morgan. Also from Hibbard, Lily Vincent. From Richmond High School, Michelle Monin. Also representing RHS, Tanner Pewdeball. From Star Elementary, Renee Cooper. Also from Star, Whitney Rivard. From Test Intermediate, Caitlin Doddridge. Also representing Test, Tyler Ludwig. From Vale Elementary, Kerrigan Rice. Also representing Vale, Chastity Manzenberger. Here are your 22-23 Rising Stars. Thank you all. This year, we are recognizing an Adjunct Teacher of the Year. This individual is an outstanding employee that has built a career's worth of relationships with students in just their first year in the classroom as a teacher. This person has expertise, a strong work ethic, leads with a positive attitude, and has the ability to adapt, to change, and to do so with ease. This person is overall just an outstanding employee that is highly skilled, dedicated, reliable, and always looking for ways to improve themselves and their work. It is my pleasure to award Trayvon Cordova as the very first Richmond Community Schools Adjunct Teacher of the Year. thank you, Mr. Cordova, for everything you do. If you haven't stopped by his classroom, put that on your to-do list. Next, we will recognize our Teacher of the Year nominees. Kelly McDermott, Nicole Stoltz, and Dr. Wright will each present the Building of the Year teachers, the nominees for each Building of the Year nominee. I would like to thank our building leaders for the inspiring words that each shared about their Teacher of the Year nominee. The Teacher of the Year nominees for the 22-23 school year are, representing Charles Elementary, Rebecca Amix. When asked why Mrs. Amix deserves to be the RCS Elementary Teacher of the Year, Hannah Mooney replied, "My teacher gives lots of clip-ups and makes kids feel good inside." This statement describes Becca Amix to a T. She recognizes that using positivity is the best way to teach the students. Becca has been teaching for 8 years, with 3 of those years in the first grade at Charles. She recalls wanting to be a teacher as early as 5 years old. She attributed that dream to having the best kindergarten teacher ever. Becca prides herself on the positive collaborative relationships that she builds with her students and their families. She wants all of her students to feel loved and appreciated by her. Becca's best memory of her teaching career up to this point was when she received a student in November that could not even write his name. With lots of hard work and using what she had learned about the best practices in teaching, he was reading at a level F by the end of the year. It was validation that she was in the right career and wanted every child to have the feeling of that accomplishment. Becca has made a tremendous progress in growing her leadership skills while at Charles. She coached the Boston Run, co-sponsored K-Kids, organized the Charles Spelling Bee, and has become a mentor teacher, contributing to growing other teachers in their craft. Even though she once considered seeking a first grade position in her hometown, Becca has decided to stay at RCS, where professional development is valued. She looks forward to growing and sharing her knowledge with others. Becca currently lives in Liberty with her husband, Jared, and their 2 amazing dogs, Benelli and Indy. When asked what she enjoys most about working at Richmond Community Schools, this was her response. Richmond provides more professional development and leadership opportunities than I have ever been offered. This is the 4th district that I have worked for in my career due to moving frequently, and I would not be the Teacher of the Year nominee if it weren't for the resources and push Richmond has given me. I also work with an amazing grade level team at Charles, and I have a great coach and principal who continue pushing me to be the best that I can be. Rebecca Amix. Next, representing Crestdale Elementary, Kara Brush. Kara is a Crestdale Crusader through and through, from her early days as a student to classroom teacher to instructional coach, and has weathered the storm through many changes. She has incredible organization skills and is always prepared to take on whatever challenge comes her way. She is generally one step ahead and often responds to questions, problems with statements like, "Got it," "Already done," or "on it." To our students, she is the prize lady and the announcement movie lady, among many other things. One student shared, "Her room is just chill, and she teaches us math and other pretty cool stuff." Kara always puts students first, and their success is what drives her to hold students accountable and continue to find creative ways to motivate students to achieve their personal best. She has developed a rapport with colleagues, and her knowledge and experience allow her to provide all with much needed support. She is an invaluable asset to the Crestdale family, and her hard work and dedication is much appreciated. When I asked Kara who inspired her to become a teacher, she responded simply, her mother. She has enjoyed transitioning from the classroom to instructional coach. She said it was scary at first, but the new challenge has allowed her to grow professionally. Kara enjoys working with students and the camaraderie that she has with her colleagues. Kara Brush. Next, representing Dennis Middle School, Sarah Brownell. Mrs. Cooper said that she is honored to have Mrs. Sarah Brownell as a teacher at Dennis Middle School and for her to receive the Teacher of the Year award for Dennis. Sarah moved from Test Intermediate during the transition a couple years ago to Dennis and has been an asset to the school since the moment she arrived. Sarah's ability to build relationships with both her students and colleagues is truly exceptional. Her classroom is a safe and welcoming environment for her students to learn and master the material she teaches as an 8th grade teacher. Students love her class because she is kind, loving, fun, and cares about each one of them. She is able to see exactly what each student brings to the learning environment and how to be the most successful they can be as they move on to the next level at the high school. Sarah serves as the English department head at Dennis, where she shares instructional strategies and curriculum with her colleagues on a monthly basis. Her love of our students and commitment to Dennis Middle School is evident in everything she does, both in and out of the classroom. Student Brody Clark shared, "Mrs. Brownell has made me enjoy English this year more than I ever have before. She's made class fun, exciting, while also making sure we still have an understanding of everything. Her class has been my favorite this year, and I'll continue to remember it as I move on to the high school." Zoe Sams mentioned, "I am one of Mrs. Brownell's students, and I think her class is my favorite. Not only does she make assignments enjoyable, she makes them memorable. Her class is my favorite for this reason, and I think she deserves to be the Teacher of the Year." It was during her senior year of high school that she decided to become a teacher. She had an amazing English teacher who showed her how much she loved to write. It was during that class when she decided to become an English teacher. A memorable moment for Sarah was during her second year of teaching. She had a student who would not do anything in her class. He would come in, put his hood up, his head down. She tried everything to get him to participate. One day, she and another teacher decided to go to that student's football game. Before the game, the student looked to the stands and saw her as his teacher. He had the biggest smile as a response. That was the first time she had seen him smile. The next day, he came into her room and walked right up to her and thanked her for coming to his game. He told her that he had never had anyone ever come to watch him play. After that, he participated in class and even became her helper and often volunteered to pass out papers and erase the board. At that moment, she realized the importance of making students feel wanted and like they belong. Sarah Brownell. Representing Fairview Elementary, Amanda Enderstraat. I knew I was going to mess that up. Amanda teaches kindergarten at Fairview Elementary. She has been with Fairview since she began teaching 6 years ago, and we are thankful to have her. Amanda has made her classroom a fun place for her students. Her word wall posted learning charts, and classroom library make it clear that this is a place where teaching happens and learning is the result. Here are a couple quotes from her students. "I like the way she makes learning fun, and she's funny," said the first student. The next student said, "I like her hair, and she helps me when I need help." Amanda's calm demeanor when interacting with her students, coupled with a sincere concern for each and every one of them, creates an atmosphere of trust and allows more time and effort to be focused on learning. In the classroom, Amanda is focused on her students and what they, as individuals, need to know. She creates lessons that are fun and engaging for her students. As a teacher, she is always looking for ways to improve, even taking personal time to seek out new ideas. Amanda is dedicated to the profession of teaching. She is dedicated to her students, Fairview Elementary, and Richmond Community Schools. She exemplifies what it means to be an effective teacher in the 21st century. When I asked Amanda what inspired her to become a teacher, she referenced the truly spectacular teachers that she had growing up who provided her with a safe place to learn and grow. She grew up knowing that she wanted to be the kind of teacher who made her kids feel safe and loved. Amanda said she really enjoys hosting cadet teachers from the high school and college students working towards their education degrees. She loves being a part of their journey. Representing Fairview Elementary, Amanda Enderstraat. Representing Hibbard Program Building, Roya Mays. Roya has served the RCS community for the last 24 years, but her dedication to RCS goes beyond her time spent in the classroom. She is a cheerleader for our school system. Mrs. Loudermilk often relies on Roya as a thought partner when faced with a challenging situation. She is a creative thinker and can pinpoint solutions others have overlooked. Throughout Roya's time working in the Logos program at Hibbard, she has demonstrated an innate ability to form lasting relationships with students and families through communication, connection, and her dedication to student learning. Students in Roya's classroom are challenged, supported, loved, and offered the chance to take risks while she fosters a gradual transference of independence to each of them. They don't always like being held accountable by Roya, but they come to recognize the importance of why she shows up every day. It's for them. Roya is passionate about her career and her horses. And each student, parent, staff member, and community member she encounters knows or soon learns that she is an RCS teacher who loves her job. When asked what inspired Roya to become a teacher, she cited some wonderful teachers that she had throughout her time as a student at Richmond. I'm sure many of these names may sound familiar to many of you. She mentioned Mrs. Page, Miss Weckenmeyer, Mr. S., Mr. Price, Mr. Dunham, Mr. McWhinney, Mrs. Thompson, Mrs. Shuck, and Mr. Alexander. She said her teachers and coaches inspired her to do more and be better to reach her full potential. She didn't know growing up that she wanted to be a teacher, but it was the memorable experiences at Richmond Community Schools that she wanted to emulate to impact the students in the same way she was impacted here. The part that Roya enjoys most about working at Richmond Community Schools is the people that she works with. She enjoys the creative, caring, and hardworking educators that she shares her days with. She said she wouldn't be the teacher she is today if not for Kim Vincent. She pushed Roya to be a better teacher, to stop and breathe, and sometimes just let things go. She said the years of teaching with Kim have been the highlight of her teaching career. Representing Hibbard, Roya Mays. Next, Richmond High School, Abby Bussey. Abby came to RHS with many good ideas and an excellent undergraduate record, and we felt lucky to hire such a promising candidate. From the start, she worked well with other teachers in her department as she navigated her first year of teaching. Mrs. Bussey's class is rigorous yet fun. She is an unabashed fan of history, as she's standing next to two others that are also. And even the most reluctant of teenage historians eventually have to crack a smile. In economics, there are simulations with candy, U.S. history that have songs about presidents. She has willingly accepted advanced classes embracing graduate history courses required for dual credit teaching. She's really modeling being a lifelong learner, and any student complaints about the length of Mrs. Bussey's assignments are quickly dropped when she points out how long her own assignments are. She is exactly the sort of teacher students need most: smart, warm, dedicated, helpful, funny, and caring. If you were to come to RHS and talk to any of the students about their influential teachers, I'm sure the conversation will always include Abby Bussey's name. A significant moment in her teaching career was the first time that she was invited to the academic excellence as a teacher of influence in a student's life. The student who chose her that year was a part of her first AP U.S. history class that she taught. She was in her second year of teaching and felt a bit in over her head not being more experienced. In the student's 50 words that the student wrote about her, she wrote about the difference that Abby had made in her life. She claimed that even though the class was challenging, that she learned she could do anything as long as that she believes in herself, the way that Mrs. Bussey believed in her. The student said Mrs. Bussey helped her believe and set that passion in herself and along the right path. The thing that Abby enjoys most about working at RHS is the people that she works with. She said that she has incredible administrators as well as the people around her on a daily basis. They have fun, support each other, and work together to reach every student. Representing Richmond High School, Abby Bussey. Representing Star Elementary, Kathy Benner. Kathy Benner is a Lego brick of the teaching world. When you first meet her, she is this quiet, unassuming block. She looks like many of the other blocks in the box until you look at everything that this little block does. That little block is the foundation of great plans, creative play, and huge monuments. Students in her class get to experience the joy of learning through engaging and fun lessons that build their skills and their confidence to accomplish amazing personal feats. The block is this cornerstone of our staff. She is the block that teachers know they can go to for support and is willing to fit in wherever she can be the most useful. She is also a building block of relationships, as you can see from her fan block. Her kids say she is always calm, and even when frustrated, she never yells. If you are shy, she is going to check on you to make sure that you are okay. Anyone who has played with Legos know that some blocks are put together and it seems as though they are never coming apart. That is Kathy Benner. Once you are in her class, that bond is forever. Lego blocks are essential to opening joyful worlds of imagination and fun. Every child in the world needs Legos, and every school needs a Kathy Benner. Kathy shared with me that teaching was not her first career choice. She started her college work to go into ministry. It wasn't until she helped in a friend's classroom and worked at Richmond's friend's school that she realized she wanted to help children find their desire to learn and make a positive difference in each of their lives. A significant moment in her teaching career was when one student who was very shy and quiet, each day their mom would walk them in to Kathy's room, meet her for lunch, and then pick that same student up at the end of the day. The student did not speak during class time, but worked extremely hard. Over the course of the year, the student was able to come into the school by herself. As years passed, the student came to see her several times during the course of the school year to share her grades and her hopes for the future. That once shy and quiet student has now enrolled in classes to become a teacher herself. Representing Star Elementary, Kathy Benner. Next, representing Test Intermediate, Jill Roberts. Test has had the distinct privilege of watching Jill Roberts blossom into a talent educator that she is today. Miss Roberts started her time at Test as a paraprofessional. It was obvious from the beginning that Miss Roberts had a natural ability to connect with students. She instantly was able to jump into any classroom she was assigned and meet the kids where they are at and move them forward. Miss Roberts worked alongside so many fabulous teachers that came before her. Miss Roberts then took a giant leap and took on a classroom of her own. She was a natural. She has the ability to command the attention of the most active preteen and engage them in a way they quickly become interested in the topic that she is teaching for that day. Miss Roberts brings the curriculum to life. Her talent to present the material in such a way that makes the students eager to learn is unmatched. Miss Roberts does not just stay in her classroom, she is out and about the school all the time. She willingly greets her students every morning, making sure that each child feels welcomed and loved from the time they enter the school. So many of her students from the previous year often go by to see her each morning so that they can start their day by seeing Miss Roberts. During lunch, students are often flocking to Miss Roberts' room. Students know if they need anything during the day, Miss Roberts will help. If you ask any of her former students what they like best about being in Miss Roberts' class, I am certain it will be about the love they have felt when they were in her classroom. If a student is lucky enough to have Miss Roberts as their teacher, they have a mentor, a cheerleader, and a teacher for life. Jill recalled one of her favorite childhood memories of playing school with her sister. She shared, of course, she was the teacher. After years of volunteering in the school system and later as a paraprofessional, she knew she wanted to pursue her childhood dream of becoming a teacher. She credits working with so many amazing teachers and the inspiration that they provided her. A significant moment in her teaching career was when she did an activity with her students where they wrote their name on a piece of paper. The paper then went around the room, and each kid wrote something positive about the kid's name on that piece of paper. A student who struggled socially looked at his paper and excitedly said, "Miss Roberts, they all said something nice about me. I didn't think anyone even liked me. I can't even believe it." Thank you, Miss Roberts, for everything you do. Next, Vale Elementary, Amanda Ewing. Vale is pleased for Amanda Ewing to be selected as our Teacher of the Year. What many people don't know is that Amanda almost left the profession several years ago, but found a new home with Richmond Community Schools and Vail. In Mrs. Ewing's classroom, it's all about relationships. Her classroom of diverse students find her caring and calming demeanor is what keeps students engaged to learn relationships. She wants to know her students and their needs. Her students even have recognized this. Hunter, a student who thrives on a schedule, said that he likes the way we do everything in order, especially in the stations. Kid after my own heart. As a professional, Amanda is a constant learner and a reflective practitioner. She serves as a leader in our building, as an NIET mentor, and a great teammate with her second grade team, our EL and special education teachers. When asked what she appreciates most about Miss Ewing, Frankie answered that Miss Ewing is beautiful and the best teacher. She said that Mrs. Ewing always tells them, dream big and let your light shine. Hunter said that Mrs. Ewing is the kindest teacher, and she will probably be the teacher of the year next year, too. We agree with her students. Mrs. Ewing shines her light at Vail, and we are all better because of her. When I asked Amanda what has been a significant moment in her teaching career, she said it's always those students at the end of the year that come back and thank her for not giving up on them, or thank her for always being there for them. Relationships. Amanda enjoys working with her fellow Richmond educators. She appreciates the many programs and resources to help teachers continue to learn and grow that Richmond schools offer. She appreciates that RCS is always looking for different ways to reach every single student. She is proud to work for Richmond Community Schools because it provides great opportunities for students and educators. Again, join me in congratulating Amanda Ewing. Representing Westview Elementary, Linda Morgeson. As Mrs. Morgeson's principal at Westview Elementary, Max Smith said, "It has been my absolute pleasure to work alongside her and witness the effect that she has on students, staff, and the school community at large. It's clear to see from all that she does that the welfare of students and the school is always on her mind." In her role at Westview as an interventionist, Mrs. Morgeson excels at planning literacy-rich remediation lessons and skills development with many of the most needy students. These students look forward to seeing her every day and spend even 10 seconds in her classroom, and one can easily tell you that they feel the same. Mrs. Morgeson can be witnessed lending her expertise, experience, and advice to any educator or staff member who seeks it. Mr. Smith said that he has personally relied on her honest feedback as a first-year administrator, and she has given him some of the most important feedback received. Mrs. Morgeson elected to come out of retirement to take this position to serve an important role that may not have been filled otherwise, and has performed in the highest of levels. She personifies what it means to be an exemplary teacher. In her first year at Westview, she has been a leader in the building, both by taking on a role as a mentor leader on the school's leadership team, and more importantly, by the actions she takes daily to just make the school a better place. Westview and Richmond Community Schools are fortunate to have Linda Morgeson educating our youth. When I asked Linda what inspired her to become a teacher, she said it began at the small elementary school she attended. She adored her first grade teacher, Mrs. Lemon. She doesn't recall much about the academic part of the first grade, but she does remember Mrs. Lemon made Dick, Jane, and Spock come alive during reading time. Linda wanted to become a teacher just like Mrs. Lemon. She wanted to make characters and stories come alive and wanted to make every child feel like they are the most loved student in that classroom. When asked about a significant moment in her teaching career, she described the following. It was a warm August day in the summer of 2022 when experiencing something she thought she never would. I began, as she says, a comeback journey in my dream job as an interventionist at Westview Elementary in Richmond Community Schools. This was a significant moment because I retired from teaching in 2008, thinking I had put the fulfilling career behind me. But here, I was thrilled to have the opportunity to work with amazing students once again and to collaborate with an incredible staff. Now, after another year of helping to create lifelong readers, I recognize that there is no place I'd rather be. In fact, it has been so rewarding, I think I'm going to return for another year. At this point in my life, that's pretty significant. That acts as a contract, Linda. Linda enjoys experiencing joyful challenges each day as she works to overcome obstacles and celebrate successes, both big and small. Watching students blossom is why she does what she does. Joyful teaching and joyful learning are what it's all about. Thank you, Linda Morgeson. If you could one more time congratulate our 22-23 Teacher of the Year nominees. At this time, I ask that Derek Warch join Kelly McDermott, Nicole Stoltz, and Dr. Wright to congratulate the RCS Teacher of the Year. The Teacher of the Year representatives provided information to the Teacher of the Year committee. Letters of recommendation as well as responses to written prompts were provided. A list of criteria to be evaluated was provided to the candidates who decided to complete the application packet. A committee of former teachers and Teacher of the Years reviewed the written materials, and selections of the elementary and secondary teachers were made. I want to thank the Teacher of the Year committee members. Please join me in recognizing the elementary representative, Stephanie Brown, the intermediate representative, Kim Morris, the middle school representative, Rebecca Deloney, and the high school, Matt Fisher. Thank you to your commitment to that process. The elementary and secondary Teacher of the Year will receive $500 to purchase supplies to enhance their classroom instruction. Please be sure to contact my office and we can help facilitate those expenditures. With that said, it is my pleasure to announce that the elementary Teacher of the Year, Linda Morgeson. Congratulations, Linda. And now, the secondary Teacher of the Year. The secondary Teacher of the Year for 2023, representing Richmond Community Schools, Abby Bussey. Congratulations, Abby. The Richmond Community Schools Teacher of the Year will receive an additional $500 to purchase supplies to enhance their classrooms. It is with great pleasure and honor that I present to you Linda Morgeson as your 2023 Richmond Community Schools Teacher of the Year.
You know, when Jamie sent us things that she expected of us, one of those was to say a few words. And that seemed, you know, if you were named, that seemed really simple to me then. And now all those words have just gone away. But what a privilege. What a privilege to serve. And Westview staff, oh my gosh. Westview staff, stand up. Now, people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but all you elementary teachers, I don't know if we have any openings next year, but you all ought to just ask for a transfer. So, but seriously, it has been so great to come back. And I didn't think that I would have this opportunity. And you know, when you retire, you're like, yeah, I'm out of there, you know? And you hear people say, I can't wait, I can't wait. And here I was, I couldn't wait to come back. And so in August, I do have to admit that when I got up at 5:30 in the morning, I said some words that I probably shouldn't have said. But I got used to it, and those early morning get-ups, they are getting a little bit better. But, so I'm supposed to say something inspirational. And so this is what I have to say to you, is that I know that teaching has changed a lot. It's changed a lot since I began. It's stressful, but we need to be joyful in what we do. And so, in whatever way that you can go into your classroom and be a joyful teacher, and in turn, hopefully there will be joyful learners. And you know what? If anybody says anything, just tell them that Dr. Wright told you to do that, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming home, Linda. Thank you, Kelly and Derek, for helping. Dr. Wright and Mrs. Stoltz, if you could please now go down to the front of the stage in order to distribute the next set of awards. Next is the Friend of Education. The Friend of Education Award goes to those in the community who have given outstanding support or service to Richmond Community Schools. We thank all of you for your support, and we truly appreciate your efforts. Thank you to the nominations committee that narrowed the field down. As I read your names, please come to the front of the stage to receive your certificate. I ask that you remain in front of the stage as we announce the Richmond Community Schools Friend of Education Award. Representing Community Youth Services, Susan Miller with Community and Schools. Cody Dudley, School Resources Officer. Representing Crestdale Elementary, Dr. Lucinda Wright with Townsend Community Center. Representing Dennis Middle School, Kenzie Seiler and Alicia DeLucio. Representing the district, the team from Meridian Health Services, Lisa Settle, Allison Ward, and the Meridian Health Services team. As they make their way down, representing Fairview Elementary, Pastor Anthony White with Stone Valley Church. And Leanne Goki is a liaison with IU East. Representing Richmond High School, Corey George with the Wayne County Juvenile Probation Department. From Star Elementary, Doug Borgsdorf with Primex Plastics. Representing Test Intermediate, Pat Heine as a student mentor. Also representing Test Intermediate, Leslie Bolser as the Social Media Awareness Event Coordinator. Leslie had a prior conflict and couldn't join us. From Vale Elementary, Angie Bowen and Kim Pratt, both lunch buddies. Also from Vale, Ashley Lee with the Children's Ministry of Life Springs Church. From Westview Elementary, Janet Robbins as a long-term substitute. The 22-23 Friend of Education Award goes to our team with Meridian Health Services. Since day one, Meridian Health Services team has proven time and again that their commitment to selfless service extends beyond what is typically found in a traditional school nursing clinic. The professionalism that they have introduced to the faculty, staff, and students has afforded levels of quality care that are usually found in successful private practices. As a dedicated partner, Meridian Health Service continues to exhibit for our school community the ideology of what customer service, care, and satisfaction is all about. I could spend the next several hours sharing with you specific examples of the countless measures that Meridian has taken to improve services. However, their body of work speaks for itself. They report daily with one goal, and that is to fulfill their pledged service to practice their profession with conscience and with dignity. The health of their patients is their first consideration. Again, join me in recognizing all of our Friends of Education. Next, the Support Person of the Year award goes to a support person who gives outstanding services to our schools. These employees are a crucial element to the daily operations of our buildings and grounds. Each nominee possesses a combination of skills, qualities, and traits that allow them to effectively assist and serve our students and stakeholders. These employees are an essential part of our team that effectively run our school district. I ask that you remain at the front of the stage as we announce the Richmond Community Schools Support Person of the Year. From the central office, Alex Hazelbaker, Assistant Technology Director. Scott Nash, Network Administrator. From Charles Elementary, Susan Clark, School Secretary. Thank you, Susan, for helping us with Mr. Jones. Thank you. Also from Charles, Eugene Crawford, Environmental Services. Community Youth Services, Carrie Debenham, School Secretary. I've gotten to see her in action lately, truly impressive. Also from CYS, Kimberly Hiddle, paraprofessional. Representing Crestdale Elementary, Kali Ardosi, paraprofessional. Also from Crestdale, Cindy Smith, School Secretary. The glue at Dennis Middle School, Sonia Thompson. From Fairview Elementary, Sherry Williams, paraprofessional. Hibbard Program Building, technician, Trey Rogers. All right, Trey. Also from Hibbard, Hannah Foley, paraprofessional. Representing Richmond High School, Joe Spiker, Environmental Service Supervisor. From Star Elementary, Gary Tabor, Environmental Services. Also from Star, Lori Shelley, Admin Assistant to Student Behavior. From Test Intermediate, Jarvis Hogg, paraprofessional. Tim Longnecker, paraprofessional from Test. Representing Vale Elementary, Kenny Napier, paraprofessional. Rosie Campbell, translator, Vale. From Westview Elementary, Rebecca Corson, office clerical. She's coming. I am pleased and honored to announce the 22-23 Richmond Community Schools Support Person of the Year is Joe Spiker and his team from RHS. Joe is an integral part of the RHS team. He and his crew are all charged with the cleaning of our flagship school building. This includes the RHS main building, Career Center, Civic Hall, McGuire Hall, Richmond Art Museum, and the Tiernan Center. He and his team went above and beyond during the flood and subsequent water damage during the months of December and January. They worked long hours to ensure a safe environment upon return for our students and staff. They did the same a few weeks ago after a catastrophic industrial fire. As our historic buildings age, the needs become more demanding. Joe approaches every day with a positive attitude and gives his all on a daily basis. Many of us can remember that during the pandemic and most recently with our shelter-in-place order, only workers deemed to be essential, such as custodians, could access our school buildings. We all know that first responders are notorious for sacrificing themselves for the betterment of the community in which they serve. Like first responders, Mr. Spiker, his RHS team, and environmental service members throughout the corporation are always willing to make necessary sacrifices for stakeholders. Again, join me in congratulating Joe Spiker and his RHS team. Next, the Administrator of the Year award goes to a leader who demonstrates exemplary ability to effectively promote and implement the principles and beliefs expressed in the RCS mission statement. A great leader is someone who can inspire and motivate their team to achieve their goals while also maintaining the trust and respect of their followers through their actions and character. It is my honor to award Jennifer Service as the 22-23 Richmond Community Schools Administrator of the Year. Mrs. Service's tenure in the Richmond Community Schools spans more than 21 years. Continuing to broaden her leadership experiences from classroom teacher to instructional coach to principal, she has remained committed to serving others. Mrs. Service inherited Fairview Elementary as it entered into a comprehensive school improvement status. In collaboration with her team, she has worked diligently these past 3 years to establish a positive culture at Fairview with an intentional focus on teacher reflection, instructional best practices, and through the implementation of systems and structures. It is no surprise, as a result of these efforts, Fairview students demonstrated the greatest academic growth corporation-wide on iReady Math from fall to winter. It was only a year ago that her team committed to such school-wide systemic change. However, as a result, we now elevate Fairview Elementary and Mrs. Service's team for modeling such a highly impactful framework that attracts other RCS leadership teams to visit. Learning is a priority, and Mrs. Service models being the lead learner in her building by regularly reflecting on her impact on teacher efficacy. This mindset has been instrumental in developing a staff who routinely reflect on their impact of student learning during weekly professional development. Much planning takes place prior to professional development, led by Mrs. Service in collaboration with her instructional coach and mentor teachers to ensure PD sessions are tailored to staff needs and, most importantly, benefit students. For these reasons and many more, we celebrate Mrs. Jennifer Service as our 23 RCS Administrator of the Year. Next, Next, we will recognize years of service. We thank these individuals for their commitment and dedication to education. At your career milestone, we honor you for the part you play in maintaining our commitment to excellence. When I call your name, please come forward to accept your gift. You may return to your seat after accepting your award. 5 years of service. Central Office, Debbie Martin. Debbie keeps the lights on at Richmond Community Schools. Also from Central Office, Gregory Rexroad. These next couple I know couldn't be here. From Community Youth Services, Lisa Turner. She's not able to attend tonight. She keeps the sparkles at CYS. The building is spotless. Sylvester Waddell is also not able to attend tonight, I don't believe either. And also 5 years from CYS, Richard Salisbury. From Crestdale Elementary, Sarah Coker. Timothy Emery. Dina Stormer. From Fairview Elementary, Kelly Doyle. Lori Farley. Jim Jeffries. From Richmond High School, Devin Bowling. Frank Bratton. Abby Bussey. Lisa Diego. Lori Dilworth. Michael French. Matthew Jenkins. Nathan Kendig. Michael Smith. Jason Sprague. Daniel Sullivan. Larry Wilson. Derek Warch. Elisa Weissong. From Star Elementary, Gary Tabor. From Test Intermediate, Johnny Daniels. Tara Killian was not able to attend this afternoon. Jill Roberts. Rebecca Weissong. From Vale Elementary, Allison Pipes. Corin Watson. And from Westview Elementary, Kyla Wyatt. "10 years of service, Jana Drew, Central Office. CYS, both of these were unable to attend this afternoon. Sandra Gully and Andrea Himes. From Crestdale Elementary, Miranda Smith. Dawn Yaden. From Fairview Elementary, Terry Mello. From Hibbard, Jessica Brooks. And from Richmond High School, Stephanie Bennett. Laura Brazel. Matt Fisher. Ann Homer. From Star Elementary, Ashley Duncan. From Test Intermediate, Timothy Longnecker. Jessica Wilburn. And from Warner, Kevin Rose and Lisa Williams. "15 years of service." From Charles, Kylie Sutherland. From Crestdale, Sheila Nunez. From Fairview, Regina Hawley. From Hibbard, Aubrey Wildy. From Richmond High School, Stephanie Huber. Tracy Jones Ilano. Brenda Lendington. Here comes Brenda. From Star, Kathy Benner. From Westview, Hannah Hugenboom. And now for 20 years of service, from Central Office, Melissa Swafford. From Charles Elementary, Denise Lewis. From Richmond High School, Mary Coe. Ronald Murphy. James Russell. From Test Intermediate, Brittany Stewart. From Vale Elementary, Shauna Thrasher. For 25 years of service, from Charles, Eugene Crawford. From Fairview, Diana Fox. From Hibbard, Todd Mann. From RHS, Jeremy Hill. Celeste Johnson. From Westview, Jennifer Duvall. Here comes Jennifer. 30 years of service, Civic Hall, Michael Rogan. From Hibbard, Richard Troyer. Years of service, Vicki Elliott from Vale Elementary. Let's give this dedicated group another round of applause. We thank you for your continued service. Lastly, we celebrate and recognize individuals retiring at the end of the school year. We humbly say farewell to our outstanding friends. First, I will read the names of those that have retired throughout the 22-23 school year and have already received their gifts. From Dennis Middle School, John David Murray. From the district, Vicki Sane. From RHS, Deborah Carroll, Deborah Strassner, and from Warner, Christopher Dunham and John Hamilton. Now, yes. Now we would like to recognize those retiring at the end of the 22-23 school year. When I call your name, please come forward to receive your retirement clock. From Community Youth Services, Jessica Irwin. Jessica, Sheila asked me to remove your name from the agenda in hopes that it wouldn't be true. From Richmond High School, India Cruz Griffin. Test Intermediate, Jody Marcy. I would like to thank all of you who came today to recognize and honor those who represent dedication, excellence, positivity, and commitment to education in Richmond Community Schools. Thank you to John Cook, Cindy Kate, Mike Rogan, and Joy Turner for their care of this beautiful venue, and Jim Russell for providing the recording today. A special thanks to Lisa Fopp. I cannot say enough about Lisa's impact district-wide. She pours a significant amount of time, energy, and love into this event and to all that she does. Thank you, Lisa. I ask that all award winners please remain on stage or come to the stage for pictures immediately following dismissal. As we look to close another school year, I encourage us all to remember the words said about each award winner today. A common theme was the impact prior teachers had on each of them. While a kid may be quiet, reserved, timid, shy, or keeps their head down, remember, they are one small gesture away from a breakthrough. Charles Kingsley, a character in Alice in Wonderland, said it best: "The only way to achieve the impossible is to believe it is possible." Thank you all for joining today. We celebrate each and every one of you.